planning for that. There's not the opportunity to set money aside because that's not the way Park District funding is. When it's time to do something, you go for a referendum, especially with the tax cap. And yes, there's a lot of other projects that people are trying to do at the same time. But these people's job is to do the best planning for parks. And the state of Illinois has park districts for exactly that reason. When there's bad times, the city can't say, we're not going to have any opportunities for recreation this year because we can't fund our police department or whatever. So you have to separate the issues, and they've done that. And I think it's a good plan. If I had smaller kids, I think it was a better plan.
Glad to know this evening is finally going to come. That pool didn't die overnight. Was any capital funds, were any capital funds set aside for the repair, not the replacement of the pool until such time that the committee was able to fund that?
When we looked at the project before we got into the study, we realized that the pool would be replaced. We did not anticipate the economic climate at that time. On an annual basis, we have been putting in capital dollars to just keep the pool operating. Several years ago, we invested in a heater. This year, we're doing major repairs to the tune of about $30,000 to make repairs to the Virginia Graham Baker Act and those code issues. We don't put that money into it. We can't open the building. So we have invested capital over this process. We just have been unable to save large amounts of capital to fund the construction of the pool.
This architectural group that you assembled, I'm sure they're more than qualified for this, but have you also examined an architectural firm to come in and say, look, we can buy you more time, you can do these repairs, you can girdle, if you will, with steel beams, there won't be an issue there with structure failure, or you can put a rubber liner in there, you can increase the size of the center joints. Have you done that?
What we did was, when we looked at the results of the study, the cost of making the initial repairs versus replacements several years ago, we opted to then move forward into this conceptual design, saying that it would not make sense to invest $5 million in repairs to this aging facility, knowing that it was at its end of its useful life, and that we continue to see larger and larger dollar amounts just to be able to open the doors. So that was a decision that was made, and that's kind of what you're asking.
No money to set aside.
We didn't have money to set aside. We had no money to put a cushion there.
Yes, ma'am.
Just a question. And I mentioned the idea of maybe trying to partner with the local school district. Has anybody explored that possibility? Because I know we're going to get hit with a new swimming pool for the high school. Anybody that thinks you aren't going to be asked to build one is crazy.
That's because they couldn't have figured out that they didn't need one.
Well, they should have been able to figure that out. Yeah. But we're going to be hit with that. That's in the next referendum for the school district. But I still think the idea of partnering together to build a facility that would be usable, indoor-outdoor facility, would be usable by both the district and by the park district makes sense. That would be a better use of money, in my view. I don't know. Have anybody talked to them about the possibility of something like that?
We have an intergovernmental agreement right now where we actually use the high school pool for all of our indoor swim lessons.
Yeah, I knew that.
And that aquatic center would be awesome. It would be fantastic to have that here. For a couple $100 a year, I'm happy to give $200 or $300 extra dollars a year for that facility to be there. I'm certainly understanding and can appreciate the fact that not everyone is in that position. I don't believe it will pass. I don't believe it will be successful February 2nd. But I hope that it will. I think you've done a nice job. And I, as a citizen, appreciate the responsiveness from the board and from Cindy to listen to the concerns and take all of that in. And successful or not successful February 2nd, I look forward to your response after moving forward, whether or not this is successful and how that plays, or if not, what plan B, C, D, and E are after.
I have a question for you guys. It's obvious that I believe the majority of the people here are here because they feel that this is not a good idea at this time. I'm not hearing anybody jumping up and saying, yeah, let's do this. Okay?
This year, my husband lost $10,000 because of cuts to his job. We saw an attorney today file for bankruptcy, possibly. You're talking about the possibility there might be growth. I live on Maple Circle. It's a little crescent of maybe 40 houses. 8 were for sale this last summer. I'm not seeing growth. Bridges of the River Mist, there's a lot of empty lots over there. You're not going to have a lot of people coming in here and paying this for you. Well, we're going to end up paying this. I'm paying how much already? I don't have the money to give it. We're giving, I'm sure everybody looked at their tax bill before they came over here, but already to the parks, $379. You're going to add another 100 and something to that? I don't have the money. This is a bad time. This is like a young girl with a credit card going, yeah! And not thinking, I need to buy what I need, not what I want. I know you want it. It's a great idea. But do you need it? That's all I got to say. And even the city, they're planning on phasing out human services. Do you know how many people need that? More than they need a pool? And like you said about the police station, I mean, my God, we have how many college kids coming in here every year? Yes, we need a new police station. There are other needs that we need to meet before we go for our wants. You know, I mean, just plain and simple, it's common sense. If you want a new car, you have to have the money to get that new car. That's all I have to say about it.